Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to Nerdology channel. I'm Mohamed, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Shure SRH440 headphones. And those are some professional studio headphones from Shure, of course. Now, if you're not familiar with the Shure brand, these guys are a huge audio company, and they're pretty much specialized specifically in microphones. These guys make some of the best microphones in the whole industry. If you went to any studio out there, you're gonna probably find a couple of Shure microphones laying around in the studio because these guys are uh, pretty much some of the best companies out there when it comes to making audio peripherals in general. So these guys also kind of translated their experience and started making headphones as well. And wow, I gotta be honest, these guys can go up against Audio Technica or Sony or even Sennheiser. They're pretty capable when it comes to their headphones, and this is pretty much my first experience with the Shure SRH440. So what I'm going to be doing with this video is I'm going to pretty much uh, state how I feel about these headphones. My opinion in general, what I like, what I don't like, some bit of specifications about these headphones. So first off, let's start with the specifications. Those, of course, as you know, are professional studio headphones. So not a lot is considered about styling, not a lot is considered about fashion. It's all about the sound experience and getting the most out of these headphones. You're gonna get the most, if you really want to get the most out of the audio experience, you want to get the most balanced possible sound setting without, headphones in general are a lot like equalizers. So, in terms of equalizers, these headphones would be pretty much balanced equalizers. There wouldn't be a lot of, there wouldn't be, some high, notes of high, and in general, there wouldn't be any manipulations in any frequencies across the audio spectrum. So you're not going to get, any, exaggerated highs or any exaggerated lows as well. You're going to get a pretty balanced, clean audio experience in general. So a little bit of specifications. These things come with a leather bag. It's of course a fake leather bag, so it's not that nice. The headphones kind of fell. They're the fake leather, bags, but it's nice. It's a nice fake leather bag, and it just adds a lot to portability. And they do come with a 10-foot coiled detachable cable. Those are absolutely massive, and they're very heavy. And you only get this single choice of cable in the headphones. Even though they're detachable, you can't actually change the cables because they use this proprietary locking system with the headphones themselves, meaning you should go to Shure itself to provide you with a replacement cable, which is kind of hassle. These headphones, of course, have a 40 millimeter neodymium magnet sound drivers, and they can provide quite a volume, and they could get very loud, and they do provide an excellent sound experience. Also, it does have a threaded quarter-inch gold-plated adapter included as well. And that's about it. Yeah, the impedance level is about 44 OHM, which means these headphones might require a little bit of power when it comes to just getting the most out of it. Your average smartphone or your average laptop isn't going to be able to get the most out of it. If you do have other headphones that are more, lower in terms of impedance, you're going to get more volume. That doesn't, mean that these headphones are actually better or louder. They just have lower level of impedance. They just don't need as much power pushed through the audio jack to just provide the best sound experience. So these things are capable of getting pretty loud, but you just need the proper experience. So if you don't have an amplifier or proper studio equipment to handle these headphones, you might be a little bit disappointed when it comes to volume. But these things actually work with your everyday smartphone and everyday laptop, and they actually provide a very decent output. So that's it for the specifications. Really, there isn't much, just a detachable cable, and it's a very simple process to install. I think I really like the detachable cable, because if anything went wrong with the cable, you could just go to Shure and replace the cables very simply. It's just a nice locking mechanism to kind of guarantee that these things stick in and don't come out. I've seen a lot of other headphones that just do have those completely detachable 3.5 millimeter cables, And yes, you could replace them at pretty much any other place. Specifically the Skull Candy H2 and all those. I've seen a lot of Skull Candy headphones with detachable 3.5 millimeter cables. And yes, it's easy to find a replacement, but these can come out if pulled hard. And that's it. The design is quite simple. A lot of studio headphones do look alike. You're going to find a lot of similarities with the Audio-Technica ATH-M50X or the Audio-Technica ATH-M40. You're going to find a lot of similarities with also the Sony MDR7506 as well. So yeah, studio headphones, they're all in black. In general, they're all in black. Not a lot of not a lot of attention is paid to design and style and just how to to make these headphones just look the best. And that's it. So a little bit about the design. What I like about the design is how simple it is. Just to kind of the labels. There's the right, there's the left. It's colored, and it's really simple to know your bearings when it comes to these headphones. They're also number graded as well, so that means you could also know the level at which you're always comfortable wearing these headphones. Just kind of extend the ear padding. The headband, and yeah, they're pretty simple. If you have a specific degree at which you'd like to set the headband at in order to get the most comfortable experience, they're also foldable as well. Yeah, so that allows easier portability. They're slightly tiltable in order to kind of get the a better handling experience when it comes to wearing these headphones. But they are relatively massive, and they're actually quite heavy as well. So that was it for the looks of the headphones. So I'm going to go with what I like about these headphones, what I don't like about these headphones. First off, the pricing point. These things come at around $100. And for $100, you will hardly find anything better than these headphones. Yes, you can go up to 3 times the price, to levels of $300 or $400 of price in order to get something that is slightly better. But for $100, you're going to get pretty much the best bundle you could probably get. Now, granted, Shure have cut some corners when it comes to the design of the headphones, including some very thin ear pads, which is something I'm going to talk a little bit about more. And the packaging is just cheap. The packaging is just not good. It's very, very cheap. So yeah, but they did not cut any corners when it comes to durability. These things are very durable, very heavy. You feel that they're sturdy, very well made. You're definitely not going to be disappointed when it comes to audio quality or durability. So the first thing I like is the $100 price point. Yes, it still is a little bit steep. It still is a little bit expensive, but these things can go toe-to-toe. I mean, these things could even punch above their weight line. They go toe-to-toe against some of the best headphones in the industry. I've made several comparisons to Beats, several Beats headphones, Sennheiser, Sony, and Audio-Technica, and these things could really hold their ground when it comes to the competition. And for $100, I mean, yes, you could find some comparable options, but these things are very good for their price, and you would have to pay a lot more in order to get something that is slightly better. Second of all, what I like is, of course, the sound experience, but more on that later. But the thing I really need to mention is the ceiling on these headphones. Now, granted, they may have gone just a little bit cheap with the ear padding, which is something I'm going to mention later, but the ceiling itself on the headphones is absolutely phenomenal. These things do an exceptional job when it comes to, sealing the sound inside and outside. After using these headphones for a lot of time, and trust me, I have been in some really noisy environments, I gotta say, I can't really find a good reason to own one of those noise canceling headphones. I mean, they're very good, and yes, they're going to be very helpful in super loud environments, but I gotta be honest, in most situations, at 90% of volumes that come out from the outside, or if there's any leakage, I mean, first off, there's no leakage from these headphones. Nobody can actually hear what I'm listening to, except if these ear cups are slightly dispositioned, if they're not covering your ears well. If they're not doing that, you're going to hear a lot. I mean, these things actually, when they're closed like this, you wouldn't hear anything. You just open slightly, and these things turn into small mini speakers, which proves which is a testimony of how loud these things are. So with proper if you apply these, if you put these headphones on your head properly, they're well positioned. There's no sound that's going to come in or out. These things block in about 90% of the sound, and they are absolutely great. I really can't see a reason why you should buy any of those noise canceling headphones. So yeah, the ceiling is excellent. And last but not least is the sound quality. The sound quality is incredible. Of course, these are studio headphones, and if you want to if you really want to listen to how the soundtrack was designed, how the producers thought of it, yeah, that's exactly what you need. These things are extremely balanced. They don't exaggerate any of the frequencies, not the highs, not the mids, not the lows. Everything is super balanced. Just listening to pure music the way it's intended to be. Now, these things work with anything. And of course, if you're a bass head, which I personally am, I'm a bass head in general, I kind of noticed that these things may lack a little bit of bass, a little bit of punch, but I did manipulate a little bit with the audio settings on my devices, just a little bit, tweaking the equalizer a little bit and get a little bit of extra punch. And I could say these things, yeah, they could get fairly loud, very, very loud, and they could deliver when it comes to bass. These things can actually deliver a lot of bass if you actually just modify the equalizer a little bit. But I didn't do that much because I really enjoyed the extreme balance when it comes to audio experience. Just getting the true sound, the whole audio experience is just incredible. And of course, yeah, the durability is fantastic. These things feel absolutely incredible. The price and all that, these things feel very sturdy and they're very well designed. They're not the most fashionable headphones, but they're very well designed. They're very sturdy. They could definitely take a few punches. I've had these things for about 8 months now, and they have not disappointed me. Now, I haven't dropped them yet, so I can't really say much about the drop tests, but, I gotta say it's durable. It sounds phenomenal. There's very few headphones that could go toe-to-toe against the Shure SRH440, and I gotta be honest, for the price, it's amazing. Now, here's what I don't like about these headphones. You really need to pay attention to this segment because there is, quite a bit that I don't like about the headphones. First off, the comfortability, which is a massive pain when it comes to these headphones. First off, the ear padding on the inside, you could almost see the drivers inside the ear padding, which means the ear padding is extremely thin. That means a lot of pain on the ear cups, on your ears. Yeah, there's a lot of strain, lots of pain. And that's not even, across a couple of hours. That's across just 1 hour, maybe half an hour. You're going to start feeling the pain on the rims of your ears because the padding is so slim. Now, I've read some reviews, and a lot of people are actually, able to change the padding from Shure. Just contact Shure and, change the padding with some slightly softer and better, more thicker, padding. You could do that, but, in here in Egypt, there's no way to change the padding at all. There's no way to contact Shure, so I'm just, stuck with what I have. Also, the padding also as well on the headband is very thin. It's almost plastic. I know the plastic is kind of flexible, but it still is plastic resting on your head. It's almost plastic, really. There's just no, very little padding. There's almost down to none padding at all on the top of the earband. On the headband, so you're pretty much resting on plastic for the whole time. So after half an hour, you're gonna start feeling the pain. It's not gonna be very comfortable. You're gonna have to adjust the headband, back and forth just to kind of make it just a little bit, easier when it comes to pain. But these things are not comfortable. They're just not comfortable. So if comfortability is a big factor, if you're gonna use these headphones for hours on hours. When it comes to audio, record. These things are studio headphones in the end, so you're gonna stay around with these headphones for hours and hours. These things may not be the best option. Second of all, the weight. These things weigh a lot. These things weigh almost about 170 grams. That's almost the size of the weight of a 7-inch tablet, which is heavy. Considering the uncomfortability on the headband and the weight of this massive coiled cable. First off, I'm not a huge fan of the coiled cable. It's just heavy, really heavy. Sometimes it feels like it's actually pulling your head down, like a little small anchor that just keeps pulling your head down. And it does get kind of tedious and annoying after a while. The cable, I wish if I could just change the cable with something else, but it's just a proprietary cable. I can't really change anything. I'm not a huge fan of the cable, not a huge fan of the weight in general, so it's the weight of the headphones themselves. They're relatively heavy, and the cables themselves are not very light, which is also a negative. And yeah, I think that's it. Just comfortability is a massive issue, and the weight is also a massive issue. Uh, and last but not least, if I'm being a little bit nitpicky on the device, if I'm being a little bit harsh, I gotta say, it's not the most stylish headphones. I mean, yeah, sure, of course, there's a logo up there, the Shure logo. Then it's but the general status is, yeah, studio headphones in general do look all the same. If you're wearing some black headphones, some professional studio headphones, nobody's going to notice, that, oh, this is Shure or this is Sennheiser, except, from the brand itself. You can't really, distinct these headphones from each other because they're all the same, in terms of looks, they're all the same. And you're going to find a lot of similarities with these headphones, specifically with the Audio-Technica ATH-M50X. If you look at both the headphones side by side, you could see very little differences between both. I don't know which one is inspired by the other, but I don't know, they do look really similar. So yeah, if you're one of those style conscious people and you really care about, just looking very stylish when you listen to music, if you're going to take these headphones outside and you really care about, your fashion and your status among people and all that stuff, yeah, sure, these may not be the best option. Maybe you should pick something like Beats or Skull Candy. Those are some very fashionable headphones, and they do sound relatively good. So yeah, these things are perfect when it comes to audio quality, but not so good when it comes to comfortability. And the pricing is fantastic, so you really should consider these headphones. And yeah, just look at the other alternatives as well. The Audio-Technica ATH-M40X or the M50X or the Sony MDR 7506. Those are also good options. And that was it for the review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time.